Hello and welcome. Another video from me here. My name is Jan, and I'm excited about this one. As I am all these videos, of course. I love working on this stuff, and the stuff we're talking about is AI, automation, AI agents, workflows, processes, systems, integrations. Lots of exciting things in this area, especially when it comes to improving businesses, their productivity, and results. So one of the questions that come up very often in the conversations that we have at the agency is, how can I access my information fast, easily, and also with an edge towards my clients, meaning their clients, to expose data and content that's proprietary to that organization through simple search queries. Just like Google, but your own data. Well, there's many systems out there that can do this. And one of the ways in which we can do it now in 2025 is to develop custom databases. And I've worked with databases for many years. In fact, back in the Microsoft and Yahoo days, that's a lot of what I did. But now, with the advent of AI, and these incredible, what we call vector databases, which is very simply put a database system and a backend that allows you to upload documents of varying types, images, audio files, you name it. It can figure out basically the meaning of these terms when you search. So if you're searching for doctor, it'll understand that, okay, you mean also physicians, etc., right? Like Google uses also vector databases and vector technology and much, much more. We're not going to get into that technology here other than to say it's very powerful, very useful, and for you, not hard to implement. And that's why I wanted to show you Pinecode today. Pinecode is one of those essential products in this space, in the vector database space. But we also have ChromaDB. That's another one that's actually open source, so you can install it and test it locally as well as deploy on it. And for smaller businesses, ChromaDB is probably the best solution, at least out the gate. But then we have WeAviate, which is another powerful database in this vector database space that you should also check out. But for now, we're going to dig into Pinecone here today, so let's explore. All right. Well, as soon as you set up an account, by the way, there's various pricing models here, but we start with a free account. It's the easiest way. So once you have created the account and logged in, you're going to get to this Get Started page. And of course, some of this is going to change. But for now, this is what we're looking at. So, for most of you, you are probably not going to worry too much about or get too much into the detail here as a business owner, other than to know that I need to set up a database so I can store my documents. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how you store these documents later. But for now, we're going to set up a database. I mean, it literally is as simple as going to the store and buying some milk and bread. That's what I say. So once you're in, you get started. You're going to basically go to database here on the left-hand side. And we're going to go ahead and create a new index. So I keep saying databases, but an index is really the terminology we're talking about here. So we're going to talk a demo with Jan, and this is basically lowercase, one word. I think you could probably use underscore here. No, very specific, right? Easy though, to do this. And there's various configurations here that we can get into in terms of opportunities for the type of index, the type of database that you want to set up. And I've tested this, the text embedding 3 small. This is with an OpenAI standard. This is fine, but I actually, a little bit of a geek, I like to test this stuff. So I will go manual configuration. So you can kind of see the steps that we go through in setting this up. And we've set up 2 databases now already. One is for a client who has a large repository of all kinds of documents here in California. Another client that is a Facebook, actually, he is a mentor and a client in the Facebook ad space. with a lot of documents here. I have another video on my channel that talks about how to search that. And in a moment, I'm going to also share the link to the to essentially the workflow that loads up this database. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go manual, custom settings. You have a couple of options here. Sparse is basically the difference between these two is either if you have like technical medical documents, very specific things, you want to go to the sparse. We typically go dense. That's a little sort of looser in the definition. Dimension, we are going to go 1536, 512 is the standard here, but it's the length of the vector. Now, it requires more storage, as you can see here, for the 1536, but it's the one that we've been testing, and we've been working with that since we started, pretty much. Once we have this set up, we don't have to worry about these settings at all. We go AWS for the cloud services here. Virginia, US East, and the reason why we're not selecting any of these others is that's part of a paid subscription, and because you are testing this and setting this up the first time out the gate, we want to go free as much as possible, especially if it's a prototype development. So now we can come down here to the bottom and hit Create Index. So we're off and running. It's going to take a moment to configure here, but ultimately it is ready. It's ready to go. So now we need to add records, which is data, to this. Now, there's no drag and drop here. There is no interface within this environment to get the data in here. So we actually have to create a workflow or an app that can talk to this index, to this database. And we can do it through this particular URL here and an API key. So you can get your API keys over here. And really, at this point, it's as simple as gluing these pieces together. And I'm going to make this video a little bit short here today, because the next video that you have to watch to understand how we load this is the video that's up here on this screen right now. I'm going to link it also below in the description. But ultimately, it will run through a Google Drive with a set of documents, and it's going to upload it directly straight to this database. Actually, it will be another database in that example because it's a prior run, but you'll get the idea. Now, here's where this also gets interesting. From a workflow and automation standpoint, N8N is a must-have, must-do tool in your arsenal, because you can deploy things quickly, you can test things quickly. It's a no-code opportunity for you, so you don't have to worry about all the under-the-hood stuff. Now, if you want to take this to a little bit more of a client development front-facing app, you can do some vibe coding. And so you can use Replit, you can use Bolt.new, and some of these apps, you can simply develop out a smart prompting strategy to tell it to build this app and allow it to connect to your host, which is this URL here, with an API key, and then ask it to generate the code to load this, to talk to this, and then load the data in through that app, and then straight to this this index, to this database. And then as you do that, you can do it manually. So let's say you had a folder with 50 different document types. So maybe text files, maybe some audio files, some Word docs, etc., PDFs. You could basically tell the app, open up the folder, load up all the documents, and then push it out to this database here on Pinecone. And as it's doing this, you can literally refresh this screen and see that the data is being imported in here. So you have multiple opportunities and ways for you to ingest the documents into this database system. And all of a sudden, within minutes, you have a very searchable vector database that is more than just a keyword search. It's actually deriving meaning from the documents and relationships, and it's using this vector database technology. Now, if you have the documents and you want to expose it to your clients, do it this way, and then create an app or a front end or a chat system that talks to an AI agent that talks to this guy, right? So there's multiple steps to do this, but ultimately we have actually now developed a product where we can literally set up a new client in about, depending on the size of the documents, 5 to 30 minutes, that quickly. Now, the client setup is pretty easy on the UI side. The work that goes into this is happening on the back end, right? Because if you have a data store of a half a gig or a terabyte and you want to run this, there's a level of organization that needs to be happening, especially when it comes to theming and topical, segmentation of data. You don't want to just load up a bucket of things and let it rip. That may be fine for a testing environment, but you really need to kind of analyze and think about how to best present the data, especially if you have, let's say, a free access point to the database and then a paywall to a secondary database for more advanced data or more in-depth data that you're trying to expose or want to expose to your client base. So it's not just a create a database, open the documents and load them and go, right? You have to think about this a little bit more from an organizational standpoint, which makes sense if you think about it, especially for large data stores and for better organization and for longevity. So you don't have to redo anything. We don't want to create any duplicate documents or confusion from that perspective. So good organization in the back end, the proper documentation, the process for how this is done is important. And if you are continually updating this, is there a level of automation that can happen behind the scenes automatically? Or do you have in the organization a data specialist that it is his or her job to, on a set schedule, upload the documents? That can be done as well. But once you have the process in place and the organization in place, you can also set up automation to do this automatically. So when new documents are coming in, maybe new emails are coming in, maybe new Slack messages are coming in, and you want to get this exposed into the vector database for search and capabilities, you can set this up automatically. And in the agency now, we're doing a lot more AI automation as well, outside of our Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube advertising, which we've been doing for years. But I just wanted to kind of take you through a quick setup here and a casual sort of coffee cup conversation here. This is not scripted, as you can tell, thinking off the cuff here, but it is tremendously exciting what's happening right now. And if you listen to some of the authority leaders and speakers in the space, some of the old guys out there, man, they are fired up and exciting. It's like the 80s and 90s all over again here. And I'm personally very invested into this space myself. The organization is also. And we're pushing for AI 90% of the time now. So I know I'm sort of speaking generically here, but if you want to reach out, you can do so by going to the link below, and happy to jump on with you. We have some terrific opportunities now to work with you and to scale these up and also develop some prototypes for you very inexpensively so that you can kind of get your feet wet, see how it works, and then move on from there. So I really appreciate you joining me here today and listening to me speak about Pinecone. And remember, it's not the only one out in the space here. We have We Aviate and ChromaDB as well, and Supabase also. But I found this to be very, very easy and easy to scale up. And yeah, we can talk about pricing and things like that later. But I think you should start right here and then develop it. And remember to click that video below the video, if I don't show it here, that talks about how to load this through N8N. It's the N8N data loader. Okay? Thank you very much for joining here today on this fine Sunday, and I'll see you in the next one. Jan out.